My beloved brothers and sisters, have you ever wondered why Allah mentions time so many times in the Quran? Why does He swear by the morning, the night, and even the late afternoon? It's because time is life itself. And sadly, many of us are guilty of wasting the most blessed moments without even realizing the damage we are doing to our own rizq, our health, and our spirituality. Today, I want to share with you something many Muslims overlook, the hidden secret of sleeping after Asr and the consequences of neglecting this sacred part of the day. Subhanallah. This is not just about rest, it's about destiny, it's about blessings, and it's about your connection with Allah Almighty. Allah Hans has created time with wisdom. Each part of the day carries its own blessings, rhythm, and opportunities. Just as the morning after Fajr is filled with barakah and productivity, the late afternoon hours between Asr and Maghrib hold their own unique importance. It is during this time that many people, out of habit or negligence, choose to sleep. Yet, both experience and the wisdom of our scholars tell us that sleeping after Asr often brings restlessness, discomfort, and loss rather than peace and benefit. One of the realities observed through generations is that a nap taken after Asr rarely provides true rest. Instead of waking up refreshed, many people feel heavy, dizzy, or irritable. Some even experience headaches or disturbed sleep patterns at night. This is because the body's natural rhythm does not align with resting during this period. The afternoon hours are meant for winding down gradually towards Maghrib, engaging in dhikr, Quran recitation, or light activities that prepare the heart for the evening remembrance of Allah. To force sleep during this time goes against the fitrah, the natural disposition created by Allah. The Prophet himself was extremely mindful of time. Though authentic ahadith about sleeping after Asr are debated among scholars, what is undeniable is that he used his time after Asr for remembrance, teaching, and worship. Many pious predecessors warned against sleeping during this period as they observed its ill effects on both the body and soul. Some even mentioned that it can lead to laziness, bad dreams, and a heaviness in the heart. Imagine losing the calm of the evening prayers simply because of a short restless nap. Beyond the physical discomfort, there is a deeper spiritual reality. The hours after Asr are a time when angels record the closing deeds of the day. This is a sacred moment, a spiritual checkpoint before night falls. Spend it heedlessly in sleep is to miss the opportunity of having our final deeds of the day be dhikr, Quran, or dua. How much more beautiful would it be to have our books of deeds closed for the day with the remembrance of Allah on our tongues instead of sleep and negligence? Moreover, wasting this time can lead to missed opportunities in dunya. These hours are often filled with responsibilities, family time, work, and preparation for Maghrib. By turning them into sleep, one risks falling behind in both worldly duties and spiritual opportunities. Rizq too is linked to productivity and discipline. A believer who values every hour, especially those marked with spiritual significance, is more likely to see barakah in their provision. We must also reflect on how the habit of sleeping after Asr can impact our health in the long term. Disrupted sleep patterns, irregular energy levels, and emotional instability often stem from ignoring the natural times Allah has blessed for rest. Islam encourages us to take a short nap, a Qailula, before Dora around midday, not late in the afternoon. When we align ourselves with the Sunnah and natural flow of the day, our bodies feel lighter, our minds sharper, and our ibadah more focused. Therefore, while it may seem like a small matter, the choice to avoid sleep after Asr can transform our evenings. It keeps us awake, alert, and ready to approach Maghrib with sincerity. It helps us close the day with worship rather than laziness. It protects our bodies from unnecessary fatigue and our hearts from heedlessness. The wisdom is clear. Time after Asr is not for sleep. It is for remembrance, preparation, and gratitude. Let us honor this part of the day by staying awake, engaging in dhikr, spending time with family, or seeking knowledge. By doing so, we align ourselves with divine wisdom, protect our health, and invite barakah into our evenings. Allah has blessed us with different times of the day, and each moment carries its own special value. The Quran reminds us that life is made up of fleeting hours, and the believer is one who knows how to use every hour wisely. Among these blessed periods is the time after Salat, Asr until Maghrib. Unfortunately, many Muslims waste this sacred time in heedlessness or unnecessary sleep, not realizing that these moments are filled with opportunities for worship, barakah, and productivity. The Prophet Muhammad emphasized the importance of both Asr and Maghrib prayers. He said, "He who observes Al-Badanzi, Fajr and Asr prayers will enter Jannah." The Bukhari and Muslim. The fact that Asr is directly linked to the promise of paradise shows the weight of this prayer and the time surrounding it. After Asr, the deeds of the day are being wrapped up and presented to Allah as the angels of the day and night exchange shifts. What better way to fill those hours than with dhikr, Quran, and sincere dua? Spiritually, the hours after Asr act as a bridge between the day and night. It is a time when one can reflect on what has been achieved throughout the day and seek Allah's forgiveness for shortcomings. Instead of falling into laziness or wasting time in idle talk, a believer should see this as a chance to recharge the soul. Sitting with the Quran, making tasbih, or reciting evening adhkar are among the best deeds that strengthen the heart and prepare one for the night's worship. Practically, this time is also a golden window for productivity. Historically, scholars and pious predecessors would use these hours to teach, study, or advise people. For those who work, it is a time to complete pending tasks, tie up loose ends, and prepare for the next day. For families, it is a moment to connect, sit together, and nurture bonds before the busy hours of the evening. When used wisely, these hours can bring balance to one's life and ensure that both worldly and spiritual responsibilities are fulfilled. We must also remember that neglecting this time can have consequences. Sleeping or wasting these hours in idle pursuits often leads to laziness, disturbed energy, or even missing Maghrib prayer. The Prophet strongly warned against neglecting Asr, saying, "Whoever misses the Asr prayer, then it is as if he has been robbed of his family and his property." Sabukarit. If missing Asr itself is so severe, then imagine losing the entire window after Asr to heedlessness. It is a period that can either uplift the believer or drag him into negligence. Furthermore, the hours after Asr are among the moments when dua is accepted. The Prophet taught us that in the final part of the day on Fridays, there is a time when Allah accepts supplications. Many scholars pointed to the period between Asr and Maghrib as that blessed hour. This shows that the late afternoon is not a time to be wasted, but rather treasured for making heartfelt dua, seeking rizq, forgiveness and guidance. On a health and lifestyle level, staying active and awake after Asr aligns with the natural rhythm Allah has placed in the body. This period is meant for winding down from the business of the day, but not for sleep. A believer who utilizes these hours productively enters Maghrib with clarity, energy, and peace, rather than grogginess or heaviness. In truth, the hours after Asr are a test of discipline. Will we use them to gain Allah's pleasure, strengthen our faith, fulfill our duties, or will we waste them in negligence? The wise believer knows that every moment counts and that time is a gift that cannot be reclaimed once it passes. Let us therefore protect the hours after Asr. Let us engage in worship, seek knowledge, strengthen family ties, and prepare for the evening prayers. When these moments are honored, they become a source of blessing not only for our dunya but also for our akhirah. Allah Ta'ala has created every moment of our lives with a purpose. Time is not random, it is a trust. Just as some places are more sacred than others, some hours of the day are filled with greater blessings. Among these is the period between Asr and Maghrib, a time when countless opportunities for rizq, worship, and spiritual upliftment are opened. Yet many people neglect these hours, choosing to sleep, waste time, or engage in idle talk. And in doing so, they unknowingly block blessings that Allah had placed in their path. The Quran warns us about the value of time. Allah swears by the late afternoon itself in Surah Al-Asr, "Betime, indeed mankind is in loss, except for those who have believed and done righteous deeds and advised each other to truth and advised each other to patience." So Quran 103 to 1-3, why would Allah swear by this part of time if it carried no significance? Scholars explain that the late afternoon represents the declining stage of life, a reminder that just as the day ends, our lives too will soon come to an end. The believer who neglects this part of the day is not just wasting time, but is missing the opportunity to reflect, repent, and prepare for meeting Allah. One of the greatest losses of neglecting the Asr hours is in Rizq and Barakah. Rizq is not only money, it is health, peace, family opportunities, and success. The Prophet made due for his Ummah to have Barakah in the mornings, but scholars also mention that using the late afternoon wisely keeps the flow of blessings continuous throughout the day. When a person spends this time heedlessly, they cut off a portion of that Barakah. This is why so many people complain of feeling unproductive, drained, or constantly running out of time. The truth is that the Barakah was available, but it was lost in negligence. The Prophet also emphasized the importance of the Asr prayer itself, saying, "Whoever misses the Asr prayer, it is as if he has been robbed of his family and his property." Zabukhari. If missing Asr is such a devastating loss, what about neglecting the hours around it? Even if one prays Asr, but then wastes the time afterwards in laziness or sleep, the opportunity to build one's dunya and akhirah slips away. These hours could have been spent in Dilla, the Quran, or even productive worldly work that brings halal sustenance. Instead, they are gone, never to return. On a practical level, the hours after Asr are among the most active in daily life. Businesses are still open, families are gathering, and society is moving. For those seeking rizq, this is the time when deals are made, customers arrive, and opportunities present themselves. But the one who chooses to sleep or neglect this time misses the chance. Just as the farmer must plant seeds at the right season, The believer must use the right hours to gain both material and spiritual provision. Moreover, neglecting these hours can affect the acceptance of dua. The Prophet taught us that there is a special moment on Friday between Asr and Maghrib when Allah accepts supplications. Many scholars pointed to this time as one of the greatest opportunities for dua. How tragic it is then that many Muslims spend this exact time in heedlessness, unaware that their duas could have been answered. The reality is simple: time is rizq. The one who protects time after Asr protects their rizq, their energy and their opportunities. The one who wastes it blocks their own blessings. Therefore, we must train ourselves to honor these hours. Spend them in dhikr, reciting Quran, teaching your family or completing beneficial work. Even worldly tasks, when done with the right intention, become acts of worship by staying awake, alert, mindful. During this time, you invite Barakah into your life. Let us not be among those who regret their wasted time on the Day of Judgment. Instead, let us seize the Asr hours as a chance to earn both dunya and akhirah. For indeed, neglecting these moments can block rizq and opportunities, but valuing them can open the doors of Allah's mercy, success, eternal reward.